I got Baby Crayzo here. He original Tiny Locs from the Deuce. You know, so he was during the 80s, the late 80s, he was dealing with
all of them.
What was their names then?
I don't remember their name. I knew them by face. Their name was irrelevant to me. They was from the other side. It didn't matter. That's just what it was. I'm Baby Crayzo. I'm saying this jokingly, but my homies know what I mean. I'm the King Griffey Jr. of this shit. Wasn't no kids when I started gangbanging. I was the kid.
And what is that, a Bronco tattoo?
Oh, man, absolutely, man. I am a huge Denver Bronco fan. And I'm a Raider hater all day long. It is what it is. Bronco country, you already know. Fuck the Raiders. Kill me in the comment section. I don't care. I'm a Raider hater for real. Get a close-up, Kev. You know, I got the Raider hater right there. Bullet holes in the shield, stabbing him in the head, everything. This Bronco's for life on mine. For sure, for sure.
Yeah, make video, you know, this is for sure, Yeah, make video, open your soul, represent your ghetto, baby. Yeah, make video, you know, this is for sure, Yeah, make video, open your soul, represent your ghetto, hold up, for the dime moves and the lokes, for the 6-4.
I can't say I was always destined to be a Raymond, but I also have family in Compton. So on that side, on my mom's side of the family, they all Damus.
When you guys have family functions and stuff like that, how does that work?
Oh, it's funny, man. It's really nothing, man. You know, when people have a slip of the tongue and, you know, they talking amongst each other and might say crab or somebody else might say slob. And you oh, my bad. And then, you know, everybody laugh about it. You know what I'm saying? Because when people speak in their language, they speak in their language. You know, it ain't meant no disrespect. We all family. And I know it's nothing personal, you know, to any of us. But the dynamic thing about it is, you know, it's good to be able to see, if you're a Damu, to be able to interact with some other Crips that's not aggressive toward you, but just see their frame of mind, and vice versa.
And hear stories of other sides of town.
Yeah, absolutely. And see how the other side views the other side. It's crazy for me to sit up with my Piru cousins and family members and just listen to them talk and be like, and you actually say to yourself, man, if this wasn't my family, man, I'd be over here so much, man.
So the Pirus came over on 102nd when you stayed in Inglewood?
My family?
Yeah.
Hell no.
Yeah. Why not?
No. It wasn't that type of party, man. You know, at that time, you know, the gang climate, you know, was at an all-time high in the county of Los Angeles and especially South Central Los Angeles. So, you know, it wasn't too much of that fraternizing, so to speak. But they did wind up in Inglewood. Well, one day I almost killed my family members. You know, me and one of the homies was going to, you know, put in some work. And we happened to go to a particular neighborhood in Inglewood. And, you know, we turned the corner. And I thought it was showtime, you know, turned the corner. And all I seen was it looked like Christmas. It was so much red. They happened to be in Inglewood, not in Compton. From, you know, as I heard the stories later on, you know, they was over messing with females and they had some other Damu partners on that side of town. And me and one of my homeboys, one of my real good homeboys, he locked up right now. I won't say his name on camera because he has a life sentence and I wouldn't never want him to associate his name with this and deny his parole or anything like that. But we turned the corner and I had a chopper. And, you know, I thought I was going to have my own 54th Street Massacre, you know, and if you from L.A., you know exactly what I mean. You know, I won't go too far in that. That ain't my business. But I thought I was going to be able to write my name in gangbang lore or history, you know. But we turned the corner, and I seen a dice game.
and it was like Christmas. And I said, yes, yes, yes. I'm finna be the baddest thing walking in my neighborhood till somebody else top this. And as I leaned out the car, I could damn near touch the dudes. You know, this how close that we pulled up on the dice game. When I leaned out the car to do my stuff, in a split second, I heard my family name. And I looked to my right, and I seen my cousin. And I immediately ducked back in the car and told my homeboy, man, go drive. He was like, man, who the hell was that? Said your family name, but he actually said my family name. And I was like, man, that's my fucking cousin from Compton. Man, I don't know what the fuck they doing over here. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, we wound up driving off or whatever. And, you know, I can laugh about it now. I'll never forget the day I got a phone call from my mother because my cousin went and told, talking about, Pam, your son almost killed us the other day, and blah, blah, blah. You know, mom's got on my case, and, you know, she just scared from your thing. And I'm like, mama, man, you know, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, I had to hear the wrath of moms. And when I got off the phone, man, it was basically right back to what she was telling me not to do. But the crazy thing about the dynamics of the streets and things of that nature is when you go to these barbecues and get-togethers and parties and things of that nature, birthdays, and unfortunately funerals, you come to find out we all related. Everybody related to each other. When our grandparents and great-grandparents and great-grandparents came down here from the South and migrated west for a better living and a better way of life, you know what I'm saying? They all came with hopes and dreams. We, with our gangbanging and subculture, have turned those hopes and dreams into a nightmare.
Man, I just want to say this for the record. I want to go on record and say I spoke to two of your cousins, and they told the story exactly how you told it. So there's no question about your credibility and how accurate you told the story. Give us a little detail about where your cousin was and how he was able to recognize you.
When we turned the corner, and and I can remember that time as clear as day. We turned the corner. I actually seen my cousin, but there was no face to him. He was just a body. I seen that he was one solitary person standing by himself. But as I looked forward, I seen a dice game. I said, oh my God. And I hit the lotto, my own 54th Street massacre. I'm going in the history books with this Griffin. It is what it is. The King Griffey Jr. is done made it to the major leagues, for real, for real.
When you pull up on your cousins, right?
Yeah.
Did they recognize that you was already out there like that, or was this their first experience knowing you was really getting down like you get down?
Well, back then, and I was still underage. Like I said, I believe around that time, I hadn't even had sex with a woman. You know what I'm saying? I was still a virgin. You know what I'm saying? And I had did some crazy stuff already. You know.
As your cousins told me face to face, they glad you didn't get down that day.
And they glad that it was me. They glad that I wasn't driving and my homie wasn't shooting. Because it would have been what it was, and you know, not only saving their lives in that aspect, but they could also, or they possibly also save my life, or save me from a life sentence. Because who's to say we get off and do that busing or whatever on our way leaving the scene of the crime or whatever, the police don't get behind us, we have a shootout, boom, I'm dead, or life in prison. Right. So it definitely works all the way around. It was a good look for everybody involved, and me and my cousins, and you can attest, we all laugh about it now.
Tell me about Kevin Dykes, man.
KD, 151st Street, 151. That's my big cousin. I love him to death. Unfortunately, he's been locked up over 30 years. I believe he got locked up 85, 86. Well, I'm not mistaken about the year, but to give you the exact year, I can't really remember. But yeah, that's my big cousin. He's a legendary figure in the original, or I would probably say he might be a second generation blood or something like that. But he's a legendary figure, and guys of his age group, and I guess right directly under him, know who he is and what he's about. I love him to death. One of the guys I actually tried to emulate or imitate, you know, once I came into my own and being in the streets and the gangster mentality and things of that nature. But he can't be duplicated. You know, I'm not gonna say he was one of a kind, because everybody from everywhere has a KD from their neighborhood. But you know, from what I know in direct history with him, and by him being my family, you know, some of the stories and some of the things you hear about him, they legendary, and you wouldn't believe that no one person was capable of doing that, or did do that, or had the mind frame to do some of those things. But the good thing about it is, through his incarceration, and bring it up to date or speed it up to 2018, he's accepted the Lord. He's turned his life around. From my understanding, he's a model prisoner, and that's crazy to believe, but I'm proud of my big cousin. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, KD, 151st Street.
And who was Turtle? Is that his brother?
Oh yeah, Turtle. That's KD little brother. That's my cousin. Rest in peace, Lamar. He's the third child from my uncle and aunt, Mr. and Mrs. Dykes. Lamar was special. Very special, and I say was because of course he's rest in peace, but he was KD's little brother, but he was KD with the smooth and with the polish on him. You know, he was a fan favorite, a crowd favorite. He had charisma, you know, and I also model myself after him, or at least try to, because special people, it's hard for him to be imitated or duplicated. But he wound up, unfortunately, coming to his demise. He got into an argument or altercation with another guy in the neighborhood, and they had a fist fight. The fist fight was pretty much one-sided, because Lamar was Mike Tyson before Mike Tyson, and you know, the guy couldn't accept that, and he went back and got a gun and came up on my cousin and caught my cousin in the car, and you know, pretty much, you know, that's when my cousin met his demise.
All right, fast forward to 2018, and Donald Trump is our current president of the United States. How do you feel about the emergence of white supremacists and white hate groups?
First of all, Donald Trump is an idiot, real bozo the clown, and I really believe he really look at this as you know, playing in a playground or whatever the case may be, not really understanding that the words that come out of his mouth incite people to do ignorant things. I myself and others like me have actually, unfortunately, played our part in being soldiers for white supremacy. And I say that because we fit all the negative stereotypes and, you know, pigeonhole ourselves, gang members being destructing our own race and killing of other black men and unfortunately women and children. You know, it's crazy how we have played so much a part in the demise of our people. That's why others like yourself and my homeboys with the baseball league and your homeboys with their organization, it's time for us to start giving back and waking up about the things and the destruction that we have caused, you know, throughout the past 30, 40 years. If we go back to 30, 40 years ago, or even not that long ago, where we were even known by our first and last names, I would always tell my mother and other elders in my community and family members that I respect you guys' generation, because they were known by their first and last names. Fast forward to 2018, you know, you have a time to where you bet not call nobody by their government name. They big this or little such and such that and things of that nature. When my moms and parents and your parents, Kev Mack, was going to school, they knew each other by first and last names. They was over each other's house. They go skating together. They doing everything. They partying together and things of that nature. Now you walk in a store, a 7-Eleven, AM, PM, or anything like that, and you walk across another black man, you either it's a mean stare down or nigga what you looking at and things of that nature, or you might not want to say nothing at all. But I myself personally, I have a 2 to 3 second rule. If you look at me more than 2 to 3 seconds, I'm saying, hey, how you doing? You know what I'm saying? And if I run into somebody or a youngster or something that maybe on his shit, I won't say bullshit because that's his frame of mind and he's involved in the same thing I was involved in. But if he on his shit, I make sure that I control the narrative and the situation. Hey, youngster, how you doing? What you doing today? You out here getting your money? You messing with these women? Man, be safe. He ain't never had a chance to ask me where I'm from. You understand what I'm saying? By that time, I'm doing it, moving. I'm in and out the store, and I'm on about my business because I'm quite sure he got a big old gun, and he looking to get his stripes. And at this age, you know what I'm saying? I was telling my homie the other day, we was walking to the store, I like, man, our head was on a swivel, and I'm saying, look, we stripes now. I'm not trying to make nobody's gangbang career. I respect the culture for what it is, although I hope that we can elevate to the next level and take all these separate groups of young men and say, hey, you getting this money, you got this expertise, put it together and say, this is such and such burger stand.
Good Lord.
Or, you know, whatever whatever the case may be. Cam, you crazy. Oh, my goodness gracious.
We're going to have to cut that. Shit.
Yeah, so you just interrupted.
I know I did. I know I'm a horn dog.
It's
bro.
all good, man. We twin brothers, man. It's all good.
Hey, we always talk about, you know, ceasefire and stopping all this shit. What are the solutions, though? You got any solutions to stop gangbanging? Or what can we give the youngsters? You know, what can we put in their head to get them the idea that this shit is just garbage?
Well, I always refer back to the home. If you taught to respect your elders and represent your family in a certain way or correct way, and you taught manners and respect and things of that nature, people can come together. You know what I'm saying? We, as the younger generation that came along, we've turned the black dream into a black nightmare, you know. But that brother with those red shoestrings, that's not my enemy. That brother with those blue shoestrings are all blue on from a rival Crip set of the Raymonds or of any other neighborhood. That's not my enemy. Like I said, we since 1969 in the early 70s, we've let the streets, certain freeways and things of that nature divide us. Why is that brother who lives across whatever street on that side of the fence, how did that become my enemy? It's just that his parents bought a house there, or his grandparents bought a house there, and my grandparents bought a house over here. How did that 50 years ago, something that old, and literally 50 years ago, allow you to become my enemy? When you look at that dynamic and keep that perspective of it, you would get an understanding of, hey, that's family over there across the street or across town. Let me go talk to them and see if we can get in contact with these youngsters to just stop blowing each other's head off or see what the actual problem is.
You recently saved a life. Tell me about that.
Oh man, that was a beautiful experience. I have an aunt that's elderly now. You know, she's like a second mother to me, and I look at her as that. I went by to visit her a couple of months ago, and we were talking, you know, in the living room, and she had a stroke a few years ago, so she don't get around like she used to. Her speech, you know, isn't what it used to be, and I noticed she was getting kind of animated and excited, and I was like, Auntie, are you all right? And she was looking at me, and she got up. She walked to the back room. She needed to grab her inhaler, and she was taking her inhaler and things of that nature. And she looked up at me, and she looked at me and she said, "Call 911." So I immediately grabbed my phone, called 911, and shortly after the paramedics or the ambulance arrived, she kind of lost consciousness or whatever the case may be. She had got kind of excited, started having an asthma attack, rushed her to the hospital. I rode in the ambulance with her and things of that nature, saying like, man, you know what I'm saying, man, my auntie can't, you know what I'm saying, die right now, even though I do understand the cycle of life, being that she's an elder and she's elderly. But They put her medically induced coma. They put her in the one, and you know, she wound up coming up out of that. But while she was in the hospital, then I asked the nurse. I said, "Hey, man, you know, is my aunt gonna make it?" And she said, "Right now it's kind of rough," or whatever the case may be. So the next day, when I came back, I talked to that same nurse or the head physician, and she said, "You know, if you wasn't there, your auntie would have passed away." And you know, my auntie, you know, after a week or so got out the hospital, and I went by the house, seen her, hugged her, you know what I'm saying? She looked at me, you know what I'm saying, like I was an angel or something of that nature. And at that moment, I said to myself, man, out of all the stuff that I've been into, where it caused lives to be lost, I finally had a chance to give back and preserve life. So it was like kind of balancing out, you know, my deeds and my bad acts, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, if I can help prolong a life, you know, and maybe be forgiven from some of the things that I did in the past, you know, it was definitely a great experience for me, and I was definitely glad I could be there for my aunt.
Crayzo, tell me what you meant by
when you got a happy man, the house will stand. What I meant by that is, in reference to a type of woman, you want to have a type of woman when you with your partners, y'all at a barbecue or even out at a concert or anything may be, and you talking to one of your partners or maybe a family member or something, you look across the room and say, hey, you see her right there? Yeah, that's me right there. Everybody wants to, or we should all want somebody that we can be proud of. You know what I'm saying? That's the type of woman that you should want. Somebody that you can be proud of. You can look across the room and know that she's going to represent and carry herself the best way and represent you in a respectful manner. Somebody like that is priceless. And it's not very many of them walking around. It's just about the perfect timing in life when you get somebody like that and you're able to recognize and cherish her, scoop her up, and live happily ever after.
how's your house standing?
The foundation in my house is solid concrete, wrought iron, you know, all that. I got the love of my life, everything that I've been through, even with losing my mother 6 weeks before I came home and things of that nature, and just being in the life, the ups and downs and all that stuff. If I had to go through it all over again to get with the person that I have right now, sign me up right now.